The following is a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network.
Satter wants the ball. He's maybe tee it up for 11 3. He got it! 11 3-pointers for Ty Satter. It's unbelievable. The fusion the other way. Nice ball in towards Kamai. Kamai able to set us down. Kamai beating the keeper. Shot on the way, and Kamai scores. 1-0 for the Fusion in this
1-2 pitch. Line shot up the middle. One run will score. Deer rounding third. He's coming to the plate.
Burwest, they center in front. Scarborough down low, loose in front, in for a goal. South Shaley gets the first goal of this East Region title.
Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
Good morning and welcome to Kindred, North Dakota. Kindred Varsity Field. We're getting ready for the State American Legion State A Baseball Tournament. I'm Mike Bertier, along with Chris Hovden, bringing you baseball on Magnitude Sports. We're excited to bring you some baseball this morning and into the afternoon and into this evening. We got 4 games for you, all being covered on Magnitude Sports. Chris, looks like Watford City, the Walleye, Post 29, are coming in to take on Wahpeton Post 20. And we're looking for some exciting baseball today.
Yeah, both teams have not played each other yet this year, so it'll be interesting to see how the two come together. In total, tournaments included, the Walleyes are 14-9, and Wahpeton, tournaments included, are 28-4, but without tournaments are 20-0. So very impressive team on both sides.
Yeah, Wahpeton's a very tough ball club. They got some solid pitchers on their team, and they're going to be the number 1 seed in the East region. The teams look like this. The number 1 seed in East region is Wahpeton Post 20. Then it's the Castleton Haymakers, West Fargo Vets, and the Kindred Vikings, your host team. In West region, we have the Dickinson Volunteers, the Bismarck Senators, Bismarck Capitals, and, of course, your Watford City Walleye. So we're looking forward to some baseball. And we'll come back, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with your starting lineups, and we'll be back on Magnitude Sports.
Mitso Magic Services is locally owned and operated out of Bismarck, North Dakota. They provide the services you need to keep your home looking great. Whether it's lawn mowing or snow removal, get the job done for a reasonable and affordable rate with Mitso Magic Services. Mitso Magic Services also offers weed control, landscaping, tree trimming, and yard cleanup services and more. Want some magic done to your yard? You know who to call. Mitso Magic Services. Contact Jaden today at 701-333-9791 or visit them on Facebook by searching Mitso Magic Services.
Touchmark provides a carefree lifestyle for our residents, and we are here with you the entire way.
I'm so happy I made the move to Touchmark.
There's always enough to keep me busy, and people are very friendly here. I enjoy that. It makes my day.
People get up and dance. I mean, it's such a joyful place to live. How can you not like it?
That sense of community is so strong. When I think of Touchmark, I just think big, but I think beautiful, and I think home.
Bar 9 in West Fargo is your stop for that pregame lunch and for the postgame celebration. With over 30 TVs, you can catch your team anytime. We have a delicious food menu including wings, pizza, sandwiches, and more. Enjoy it inside or head on outside, day or night, to relax in the comfort of our updated outdoor patio. We also have slots, blackjack, pull tabs, and all gaming proceeds earned go to support West Fargo baseball. So catch your team's game tonight at Bar 9, 1405 Prairie Parkway in West Fargo.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to them today.
And welcome back to Kindred. Again, Mike Bernier along with Chris Hobden, and it's time to bring you our starting lineups. First for the Watford City Walleye, post 29. Leading off and playing at third base will be Carson Voll. Batting second and playing in left field will be Ryland Gable. Batting third and playing at shortstop will be Judd Johnsrud. Neil Dahl is a cleanup hitter. He's a designated hitter. Landon Liedall bats fifth, plays at first base. Batting sixth and pitching tonight, or this morning, is Jordan Doty. Batting seventh and playing out in center field will be Colton Huffnagel. And playing in right field and batting eighth will be Nolan Dahl. And batting ninth and playing at second base will be Jason Hogue. Catching in tonight's ball game and being designated hit for will be Josh Chavez. And he's the catcher. Now for Wahpeton post 20. Leading off and playing at shortstop will be number 5, Caden Kappas. Batting second and playing out in center field will be Tori Ulick. Batting third and catching will be Jackson Fleeflet. And batting cleanup will be the right fielder, Jaden King. Batting fifth is Josiah Hoffman. He plays at first base. And on the mound, and also the designated hitter to start the game, will be Caden Hockert. He bats sixth. Batting seventh and playing in left field will be Gavin Schroeder. Batting eighth and playing at third base is Riley Timian. And batting ninth is Jack Rittenauer playing at second base. And Caden Hockert, I wrote him down, but now I forget where he's playing, but
Pitcher.
I believe, yeah. Okay, yeah, he's the pitcher. And he's actually batting sixth. So I had him written down as if he was being designated hit for, but he's designated hitting for himself.
I mean, that works. I mean,
Yeah. All right, they're doing the starting lineups on the field tonight. Again, you're watching American Legion State Tournament, State A Legion Tournament from Kindred, North Dakota. Looks like we're getting ready to play some baseball here. As Josh Almaris, the head coach for the Kindred Vikings, is doing the PA for the first couple of games here until his team plays tonight. You want to take a break and come back?
yeah, let's do that. We'll take a break, thank a couple of our sponsors, including Mitzel Magic Services, Touchmark, Bar 9, Dakota Fins and Feathers, and Kindred Youth Baseball Association. We'll take a break and be back here on Magnitude Sports.
Ogenson out of the wine, delivers one up.
A big thank you to Peyton Getty and Liza Trenbeth. Great job, ladies.
And you heard that on Magnitude Sports. Liza Trenbeth and Peyton Getty singing you the Star Spangled Banner before the start of this ball game. We're getting set. We're excited to bring you baseball, American Legion baseball, and Magnitude Sports. Caden Hockert will be on the mound for Wahpeton post 20. His battery mate Jackson Fleeflet behind the dish catching. The weather is predicted. It was supposed to be a nice day today. We did get a little bit of rain. We put the tarps out on the field, out on the home plate area, and also the mound. But things have started to let up a little bit, and it is actually a beautiful morning. Wind is blowing out to left field. You see the U.S. flag blowing out kind of almost from right to center, or right to left, right field to the left field pole. So the wind will carry the ball out to left field pretty well. Caden Hockert on the mound. He'll face Watford City Walleye, post 29. He'll face a 1-2-3 hitters, of course. Carson Vole, Ryland Gable, and Judd Johnsrud. Hockert, right-handed pitcher, throws hard. And we got 3 umpires out on the ball field. We'll get you their names later on as we go throughout the team, or all throughout the tournament. And we'd just like to thank everybody from the Kindred area as they host the tournament. And we're getting set to play some baseball. We got some good concessions, Cold Stone ice cream. Cold Stone Creamery ice cream is back in there, and they got awesome cheeseburgers, hot dogs, everything else that you can imagine.
Stop tempting me.
Yeah. Of course, they got water, sodas. My personal favorite is the Arnold Palmer's. So
we're not sponsored. I wish.
So leading off for the Walleye, post 29 out of Watford City. Sports fans, thanks for making the trip in this state tournament. Here's the first pitch of the tournament. It's down low, ball 1. 11:01, first pitch. Not bad, not bad. We aim for an 1100 start in the 1101. Here's a line drive out towards second base, fielded by the second baseman Rittenauer. He throws him out at first base with Hoffman covering, and there's quickly one away. It'll be a 4-3 put out, and there's one down. Ryan Gable steps to the plate. He's a left fielder. Right-handed hitter. Yeah, the rain's starting to pick up a touch. See how long we can get started. Here's the first pitch to Gable. It misses for a ball. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. We weren't sure if we wanted to get this game started or delay it. Here's a 1-1 pitch, over for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's up to the home team, the organization, to start the game, and once the game started, it's up to the umpires to determine if we keep going. The 1-2 pitch misses, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. He goes down on strikes, and there's 2 away. Hockert picks up his first strikeout.
Brings up number 10, shortstop, Judd Johnsrud.
Judd Johnsrud steps to the plate. He's a shortstop, also a right-handed hitter. Hopefully the rain sneaks through and we get this game in at a good time. First pitch to Johnsrud is over for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Hockert. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball of sorts. Into the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder than it was when the game started.
Field's in very good shape.
Hopefully it lasts.
Yes. Thank the grounds crew for trying to keep this thing up and running. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It misses for ball 2. Unfortunately, the prediction for the rain was 100% right at 11 a.m. Here's a 2-1. Swinging a high pop fly foul, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice feature here, Chris, at the ballpark. If the kids go and pick up a baseball and bring it to the concession stand, they get a nice little candy treat.
Is that kids only?
Well, yeah.
We're big kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point. Here's a full count pitch, fastball upstairs, and he walked him. Johnsrud is aboard, and the first base runner of the tournament is Judd Johnsrud. Neil Dahl steps up. He's a cleanup hitter for Watford City.
Neil Dahl.
Tall right-handed hitter, steps to the plate. Man, they got those very clean white pants for Watford City. That's probably not going to last. First pitch to him is upstairs, ball 1. Runner on first. 2 down. We're just getting started, folks. And here's a pitch, swung on and missed, strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 15 pitches so far for Hockert.
Yeah, a lot of games on magnitude today. 4 here, and then I think 3 over in Class AA.
1-1 pitches for a ball. Yeah, a lot of baseball and magnitude sports. Such a nice feature. Thank all of our sponsors for making this happen. Here's a pitch. It's fouled at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Landon Leedahl is on deck. Should Dahl get aboard? So now the rain's starting to let up just a hair. We'll see how it goes. Here's a 2-2 inside. And it got away from Fleeflet. I think we'll give him a stolen base. He started to take off on a delayed steal. So I don't think there's a pass ball going to be charged to Fleeflet. So a stolen base for Johnsrud. Looks like the rest of the press box agrees with that assessment. It was kind of like a delayed steal, and then he took off. So we'll give him a stolen base. No pass ball or wild pitch on the play. Here's a full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And for Watford City, in the top of the first inning, no runs on no hits. There was one runner left on board as Hockert strikes out 2. And we'll take a break. You're listening to American Legion Baseball and Magnitude Sports.
Pitch count is official. The Vikings score goes out last night. Top half of the first inning. Walleye, no runs, no hits, and 1 on base.
Why do I choose to work here? It's the people. It's the feeling that you get when you've been gone for a weekend and everybody's genuinely happy to see you and you're so happy to see them too.
They are wonderful. The staff is wonderful. They are so friendly. They're so happy all the time.
It's a family. It's just that overall culture that we have. It's a great culture and I'm very lucky to be a part of it.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
I think what makes Proceed win is we're different than the other companies in many ways with our programming, our simplicity, our non-corporate attitudes, and our personal relationship building.
What Proceed is, we bring back the old-fashioned seed buying experience. We're true seedsmen. We care about everything from the sale to the planting to following up afterwards. That's what we're all about, is just trying to bring that experience back to a personal level.
Need seed, think Proceed. Proceed.net, great seed at a reasonable price.
And we're back in Kindred. The Wahpeton Post 20 coming to bat in the bottom of the first inning. We're just getting started. Bottom of the first inning, I'm Mike Bernier along with Chris Hubden, the American Legion State A Legion American Legion Tournament. Wahpeton will lead off with Caden Kappas, the shortstop, and then Tori Ulick And Jackson Fleetfoot to bat in the bottom of the first inning.
First inning for Wahpeton post 20 will be their shortstop, number 5.
Rains are just kind of, it's kind of sprinkling and kind of off and on. It's not a hard rain by any stretch, but it's certainly getting things a little bit damp, and it's probably going to make the baseball, a little bit slippery here and there. First pitch to Caden Kappas is hit hard foul. Strike one. Jordan Doty on the hill for Watford City. Right-handed pitcher, looks on, gets his sign, kicks and fires. Ball upstairs, ball one. His battery mate is the catcher, Josh Chavez. Here's a 1-1. He kicks and fires. Off-speed pitch down in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is our view. We're up in the press box down the first baseline. So where the camera is, it's right in front of me. So that's what you see at home is what we're seeing. 2-1 misses upstairs, 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's a 3-1 over for strike 2, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Hovde diligently working on the controls, making things happen behind the scene. I'll try to run a camera for you. We got a little blind spot down the right field line. Here's a 3-2 swung and fouled back to the screen, and the count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. The field is looking gorgeous. We got a lot of the American flag, the bunting up along the dugouts. Got a lot of tents set up. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fastball swinging a foul ball back towards the wiffle ball field that we set up right on the south side of the playing field of the football field. Set up a little wiffle ball stadium back in there. Freshly mowed this morning and painted some bases on there. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Upstairs, he walked him. And Caden Kappas is aboard. He's got some wheels. He's certainly a threat to steal second base.
And that'll bring up center fielder number 20, Tourney Ulick.
Tourney Ulick steps to the plate. He's a center fielder. Left-handed hitter. So with Kappas on first base, that opens up a little bit of a hole on the right side for the left-handed hitter to try to shoot it through. And here's a pitch. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Kappas coaching on third base. He's the head coach. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Actually, it's going to be a throw over to first base, and Kappas is back in plenty of time. That would have been my job to move the camera a little bit. I didn't do that. So I failed at my first attempt here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Kappas takes off. Here's the throw down to second base. Skips into center field, but wisely backing it up is the center fielder, Hofnagel. So Kappas steals second base. The pitch was a ball. It's a 2-0 count to Tourney Ulick. Kappas swipes second base. I think I got that one on camera.
You did. So, I was pretty impressed. Yeah. That was magical.
Yeah. So here's a 2-0 pitch from the right-hander, swinging a ground ball, hard foul down the first base line. It's a 2-1 count. Jackson Fleetfoot is on deck. Runner on second, nobody out. So Wahpeton post 20 has a runner in scoring position with nobody down. Leadoff hitter is so important to a team. And, the ball sails into center field, and Kappas is going to try to make it to third, and he will. It's going to be a throwing error on the pitcher, Jordan Doty. So the first error of the ball game is E1 on the pitcher, trying to pick off Kappas, or at least keep him close at second base, but the ball sails into center field. And quickly, Kappas is on third base. So causing a little problems on the base pass. Speed will kill you. Kill the other team by just rattling the pitcher a little bit, and sometimes it works. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Up and in, 3 balls and 1 strike. Kappas on third base with nobody out. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And he missed. He walked the first two batters. So now let's see what Ulick does if he tries to draw throw. But you got your 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. You probably want to give them a chance to drive in a run here. So nothing too fancy, no trick plays at this point in the ball game. Pitchers walk the first 2 hitters, so you don't want to just give them an out. Jackson Fleetfoot steps to the plate. He's the catcher. Solid right-handed hitter. And the first pitch is to the screen, and it's going to score a run. It's going to be a wild pitch as Kappa scores on the wild pitch. Ulick does move down to second base. And Wahpeton, post 20, draws first blood in the tournament, and they score their first run, and it's a 1-0 lead for Wahpeton. Pitch was, of course, a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch as Doty pitches out of the stretch. Fastball down low, 2 balls and no strikes. This is the third batter of the inning. And Doty is up to 15 pitches already, and he's got nobody out. Pitching out of the stretch. Number 17 kicks and fires. Ball low, 3 balls and no strike. Jason King, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. Let's see if Coach Chris Kappas gives Fleetfoot the green light. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball in there, strike 1. He may or may not have the green light. Just because you have the green light doesn't mean you have to swing. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Doty. It's a fastball low. He walked him. So the first 3 batters are walked by Doty. And Watford City is finding themselves in trouble here. There'll be a visit to the mound just to check on his pitcher, make sure everything's going all right, as both teams will just kind of line up. We'll keep it right here. There's no pitching change.
I believe there might be.
Oh, that could be.
That's the pitcher walking out right there, out towards second.
Okay. Well, we'll take a break then. Let's take a break, and you're listening to or watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Boston Pizza harnessed Fanalytics to help optimize no-look dipping. Ooh, making adjustments so you can stay focused on the game. The playoffs at Boston Pizza, powered by Fanalytics.
At Boston's, we make crowd pleasers. Like this.
Yes. Woo!
And these.
So good!
And definitely this.
I love you! Woo!
Stop by or book your catering order online and we'll make you a fan.
And we're back. We got some defensive changes for Watford City. The starting pitcher, Jordan Doty, will move out to left field. Tyson Kukenboo comes in to play first base, number 1. He's over at first base, and Ryan Gable exits the ball game. And the new pitcher is the first baseman, Landon Liedall. Right-handed pitcher. He's got runners on first and second with nobody out. And the first pitch is over for strike one. So a very quick hook, like Chris mentioned on break. The pitcher, Jordan Doty, walked the first 3 batters that he faced, and a very quick hook for the coaching staff for Watford City.
You know, when it comes to tournament time, you don't really have any options.
Yep. Walks will haunt you. There's one of the 3 walks has scored already, and there's runners on first and second with nobody out. Swinging a high fly ball into center field. This ball's hit pretty well. In trouble for the center fielder, and it's over his head. Hofnagel had trouble with it, and now there's going to be a run. Runner's tied up. The runner's going to have to go back to second base. They're charging at him, and now they're going to get the runner in between home and third. And now the ball sails into center field. 1 run scores. A second run comes in to score. Watford City throwing the ball around. There was some confusion as the ball sailed over the center fielder's head. The runners had to hold because they thought he was going to catch the ball out in center field. It does land safely, so he'll get a single. And then on the rundown, it'll be an error on the catcher. Chavez, a throwing error into center field. 2 runs came around to score on the play. So as confusing as that play was, it'll actually go down fairly simply. It'll be a long single for King, the first hit of the ball game. And Ulick and Fleetfoot will score on the error by the catcher. So the second error of the inning. So as confusing as that was, it actually scoring is quite simple. A long single. The 2 runners score on the 1 throwing error by the catcher, and King winds up on second base on the throw. And while I was explaining that, we missed 3 pitches here. It's a 2-1 count to the batter, Josiah Hoffman. He's a first baseman. Here's a 2-1 pitch from the right-hander. Swinging a hard ground ball into the hole, base hit into left field. And Kappas will hold up the runner King as the throw comes in. And it sails over, and now Josiah Hoffman is going to scamper down to second base. We'll see if they give him an error on that. Yep, I agree. Coach Josh Almaris asked me that's got to be an error, right? And I would agree with that. That's got to be an error on the left fielder, Doty. So he moves up to second base on the error. King moves into third base. So on that last play, Ulick scored, Fleetfoot scored. It makes it 3-0 in favor of Wahpeton post 20. So bottom of the first inning, some confusion, some errors, some walks. And that brings up Caden Hockert, the pitcher. And the first pitch to him is over for strike 1. So 3 errors in the inning, 3 walks in the inning, 3 runs in the inning. It's a 1-1 count to Hockert with runners on second and third. There's still nobody out, folks. And the next pitch is upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. It seems the rain has let up a little bit. It's hard to tell. It's still coming down a little bit here. Here's a 2-1, blooped out into left field. Doty's got it measured. This should probably score a run, and he makes the catch for the first out, and the throw comes in. A run does score. Hockert gets himself a sacrifice fly to left field for the first out of the inning. He picks himself up an RBI as Jaden King comes across to score. Hoffman holds up on second base, and it's 4-0 in favor of Wahpeton. And here's a pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 1 to Gavin Schroeder, the left fielder. We're early on, bottom of the first inning. Watford City, no runs, no hits, 3 errors for Wahpeton. 4 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. And here's a ball in the dirt, and the runner from second, Josiah Hoffman, will move up on a wild pitch. One and 1 the count. Right-handed pitcher, Leadall. Landon Leadall on the mound. Fastball upstairs. Ball 2. there's one out. And here's a 2-1 pitch. Swing and chopped foul down the third base line and over into the dugout. Count will roll along to 2-2. Riley Timian is on deck for Wahpeton. Here's a 2-2 count. And lead all kicks and fires. Swing and chopped foul at the plate. Looks like it went off the leg of the hitter, Gavin Schroeder. Well, Chris,
I'm struggling to keep up over here.
Some throwing errors, some walks, and it's kind of been a disastrous inning, to be quite honest, for Watford City, as Wahpeton has scored 4 runs. Here's a 2-2 pitch, off speed upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, you really hate to see it this early in a tournament, but between a 1 and a 4, that's what happens.
But here's the deal. Baseball's a funny game. It's still only the first inning. There's plenty of baseball to play. Here's a full count pitch. It's fouled down the third base line. That'll go out of play. And towards Gilbertson Park over there.
Hey fans, a reminder not only to stop by our concession stand.
3-2 count.
Food, but also return those foul balls.
So again, Josh O'Mara's telling everybody to return the baseballs and get a freezy pop or something like that. Swinging a hard ground ball over to third base, booted. And the runner from third will stay. And that's Vole over at third base. That's going to be the 4th error of the inning for Watford City as Schroeder reaches on an E5.
Batting will be number 11.
So runners in first and second. The run did not score. Josiah Hoffman chose to stay at third. If he fields that cleanly, he's going to be thrown out at the plate pretty easily. So he decided to stay at third. Riley Hoffman, the third baseman, swings and hits a high fly ball into left field. That's going to score a run as Doty makes a catch and throws it back into the infield, and another run comes across to score on another sacrifice fly out to left field. Riley Timian gets a sacrifice fly. Second out of the inning. Run batted in for Timian. Hoffman comes across to score, makes it 5-0 in favor of Wahpeton post 20. Swinging a ground ball out to short. He's got it. Throw over to first base is in time as Jack Rittenauer, first pitch swinging, grounds out to the shortstop, Johnsrud. And that's it for Wahpeton post 20 in the bottom of the first inning. They come up with 5 runs. They do get 2 hits. There were 4 errors on Watford City. 1 runner left on base. At the end of 1 inning, Wahpeton leads it by a score of 5-0. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
4 walleye errors. And 1 Wahpeton.
West Fargo Baseball wishes the Patriots, Aces, and Vets the best of luck in this year's tournaments.
And we're back in Kindred. Mike Bordair along with Chris Hobden. Wahpeton leads it by a score of 5-0. Hockard still on the mound for Wahpeton. He's got a 2-1 count on the leadoff hitter, Landon Liedall. He's now the pitcher. He started at first base. Here's a 2-1 pitch, over for strike 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got a defensive change. The catcher, Josh Chavez, leaves the game, and number 3, Paco Baldenegro, comes in to catch. And the fastball's over for strike 3, and Landon Liedall goes down on strikes. 3 strikeouts now.
Now batting will be left fielder number 17.
For Liedall, or I'm sorry, for Hockert. 3 strikeouts. Jordan Doty, the left fielder, steps to the plate. And the pitch is a fastball upstairs, ball 1. Watford City committed 4 errors in the bottom of the first inning. Not to belabor the point, but that's what led to the 5 runs for Wahpeton. We believe none of the runs were earned. However, the leadoff hitter, Caden Kappas, might have scored anyway, so that one might be an earned run. It's a 2-1 count to Jordan Doty. Colton Hofnagel, the center fielder, is on deck. And the pitch, fastball over for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hockert has 28 pitches. We're just getting started, top of the second inning. And here's a pitch from Hockert. Fastball, just misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Like we mentioned earlier, Chris, it's early in the ball game. A lot of baseball to be played.
Always a chance.
And he draws a walk, a 1-out walk.
Doty with the 1-out walk.
That'll bring up Colton Hofnagel, the center fielder. Hofnagel nearly came up with that ball. That ball was hit hard to center field by Jaden King in the first inning. It went over his head and went for a very long single. And that led to a throwing error as Wahpeton had run each other off the bases a little bit. So there was a couple of, some pickle plays in between second and third and between third and home. And then they tried to pick off the runner from second to third. And the throw goes into center field as Jordan Doty swipes second base. But not nearly far enough for him to advance to third base. So it'll be a stolen base for Jordan Doty. But then Chavez threw the ball into center field on the air, and that scored a couple of runs. Then a couple of sacrifice flies were the result of the other runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Hockert. Misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hockert has walked 2 batters, struck out 3. Runner on second with 1 out. Colton Hofnagel, the batter. Pickoff attempt sails in the center field, but again, wisely backing it up is the center fielder, Ulick, for Wahpeton. Nolan Dahl is on deck. Chris, we understand the video did freeze for a little bit.
Yes, we're working on it. I'm trying to see what the problem is. We have it live now, but we'll see if it stays that way.
All right, we'll work through the problems. Good thing Chris is here.
Right as you say that, it freezes up again.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. It misses upstairs. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Hockert pitching from the stretch. Will kick and fire. Fastball is over. And the home plate umpire rung him up. I believe that's a... Okay. We all had a 3-1 count. And then that pitch was over for strike 3, apparently. So apparently it wasn't a 3-1 count.
Right fielder number 27, Nolan Dahl.
So Hofnagel's down on strikes for the second out. And Nolan Dahl steps to the plate. I had a 3-1 count. And I was a little confused why the home plate umpire rung him up with such an emphatic call for strike 2, but apparently it was strike 3.
Yeah, with that freezing issue, we'll take a break. Between the break of Game 1 and Game 2, we'll get that all figured out. But for now, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing to combat it as much as possible.
Excellent. Nolan Dahl steps up. He's the right fielder for the Walleye. He has a 1-1 count. Left-handed hitter. Where's number 27? Trying to get that first run across for Watford City. Wow.
Say that 5 times fast.
There's a foul ball down over the third base line. Rain's still coming down. It's not a very hard rain, but it's just a steady, I don't know, drizzle, sprinkle.
You know, I would take the sprinkle over the 95-degree day yesterday.
Right. There's another pickoff attempt at second base. They got him. Picked him off at second base. And Jordan Doty goes down after getting picked off. It looked like, I believe, the second baseman covered, so it was a 1-4 pickoff for the third out of the inning. And for Watford City in the top of the second inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base, and no errors. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
No hits, no runs.
There's never a bored moment at Touchmark.
Here, it's always something going on. If I want to do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't.
The whole community has so much going on, activities for each day, basically, and everything's right there.
There's always enough to keep me busy.
We have stuff day to day, such as gardening club, but we also have our big signature events like our Touchmark Woodstock event. There's never really a time to be bored if you don't want to be.
And we're back in Kindred. Wahpeton pulls Tourney with a 5-0 lead over Watford City. It's no runs, no hits, 4 errors for Watford City. Wahpeton with 5 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Wahpeton scored their 5 runs in the bottom of the first, of course, and they come to plate. They batted around, so the leadoff hitter will lead off again in the second inning, Caden Kappas. He walked, stole a base, reached third base on an error, and scored on a wild pitch. In the first inning, he's got a 1-1 count. The rain's starting to come down a little bit harder now, and it's getting a little bit darker. Hopefully this rain moves through and we can still play some baseball here. Foul ball at the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tori Ulick is on deck. Starting pitcher Jordan Doty started the game by walking the first 3 hitters, and they all came around to score. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Then he was removed for Landon Liedel. And here's a 2-2. Down in the dirt, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's the 3-2 once again. Off speed, swung and fouled back over the screen. Count will remain 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the rain's coming down a little bit harder now. Now here's the 3-2. Off speed, swinging a ground ball past the pitcher and fielded by the shortstop. Throw to first base is not in time. Johnsrud made a nice play up the middle, but Kappas is just simply too fast, and he was able to beat that one up. A long run for Johnsrud to field it behind second base. Attempted to make a nice throw over to first base, and he did. But again, Kappas just has some wheels, and he was able to beat that one out for the 3rd hit for Wahpeton. So Kappas is aboard again as a leadoff hitter. Stole the base back in the first, and he's got some speed, so we'll likely trying to get down to scoring position as well for Tori Ulick, the center fielder. And there he goes. And there's a throw down to second base. Is not in time, and Kappas has his second stolen base of the game. Tori Ulick in the first inning also drew a walk and came around to score. And Chris, I think I did get that on camera.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Here's the 1-0 pitch as the Lidahl steps off. And they called the balk. I thought there was something a little weird about that, but kind of a hesitation for Lidahl, and they're going to call the balk. So Kappas will reach third base with nobody out. And here's a 1-0 over for strike one. One ball and one strike. Left-handed hitting Ulick at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball sharply. Foul down the first base line.
Once again, we're aware of the camera freezing issue. If it does blink black once or twice, that's us resetting the camera. Once again, we'll get that fixed between this game and the next game.
One-two misses way upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris, whenever I do these ball games, about the first or second inning, I start to get a cough and lose my voice temporarily. Here's a line drive base hit into right field. Kappas will come around to score on the RBI single by Ulick. Six nothing in favor of Wahpeton now.
Ulick's RBI
Kappas
single brings in Kappas.
singles. Ulick
And
now,
plate.
well, Kappas stole second base,
Number 7
reached third on the
catcher,
balk.
Jackson Fleetfoot.
Now Tori Ulick laces a base hit into right field.
Looks to pick off the runner at first. He's already back on base by the time the ball is thrown, though. That one comes in inside. Runner steals second base. One ball, no strikes. That comes in for ball 2.
Sorry about that, Chris. I think I'm back.
Glad to hear.
A little bit of a coughing fit. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Misses upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. As Chris mentioned, Ulick does steal second base. Third stolen base for Wahpeton in this ball game. Here's a 3-0 to Jackson Fleetfoot, the catcher, is over for strike one. Rain coming down a little bit more steady now. And here's the 3-1 from the right-hander. High fly ball down the left field line. And it's going to clear the fence down there for strike two. As a pitcher, you just tell the pitcher, hey, that's nothing but a long strike. Means nothing. It's just a foul ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's a full count pitch. Off speed, he missed low in the dirt. And Fleetfoot draws the walk. Runners on first and second with nobody out.
Second walk. That'll bring up right fielder number 6, Jaden King.
Right fielder Jaden King steps to the plate. He had that long single out to center field, out towards the fence. There were a couple of runs scored on the goofy play. And the first pitch to him hits him, and that loads up the bases. So Jaden King hit by a pitch, and that loads him up. And there's still nobody out. Landon Lidahl on the mound. He's up to 40 pitches now. Came on in relief after 3 batters. Back in the first. And here's a pitch. Upstairs, ball 1 to Josiah Hoffman, the first baseman. And here's the 1-0. Hoffman singled in the first inning, came around to score. Here's a 1-1 pitch, over for strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hoffman singled to left and then advanced to second on a throwing error by the left fielder. Eventually scored on a sacrifice fly. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swinging a hard ground ball over to third, takes a wicked bounce over the third baseman's glove. A couple of runs are going to score. It's got to be a base hit. Nobody made an error on that play. Ball took, kind of hit that lip and took a wicked bounce over the third baseman's head. And 2 runs come across as Ulick scores, Fleeflet scores, King holds up at second base, and Josiah Hoffman has his second hit of the ball game, and 2 runs batted in on that at-bat. Makes it an 8-0 ball game in favor of Wahpeton. Now we're going to have a coaching visit out to the mound once again. Let's see if they're going to change pitchers here. As Landon Liedall hasn't gotten any outs here in the second inning. So Coach Nate Kolbach looks like he's going to make a pitching change, so why don't we take a break if we can, Chris?
Yeah, we'll take this time to thank a couple more of our sponsors, including Nipstead Farms, Touchmark, Proceeds, Boston's Pizza, West Fargo Baseball, and Castleton Cold Storage. We'll go over to a couple commercials to thank a couple more sponsors and rejoin you shortly.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
And we're back in Kindred. Some defensive changes for Watford City as Landon Liedall exits the ball game as the pitcher. He moves back over to first base where he started the ball game. Tyson Kukenboo moves from first base to second base, and the second baseman, Jason Hogue, moves out to the mound. And the right-handed pitcher will be the third pitcher for Watford City. And it's an 8-0 ball game in favor of Wahpeton in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch that Hogue throws is strike 1 to the batter, Caden Hockert. No at-bat officially, had a sacrifice fly to left field and a run batted in, back in the first. And the 0-1 misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the second inning, Watford City, no runs, no hits, 4 errors. Wahpeton, 8 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Swinging a foul ball over the screen towards the concession stand. And it's a 1-2 count. Nobody out in the bottom of the second inning. Kappa singled, Ulick singled, Fleeflet drew a walk, Jaden King was hit by a pitch, and Josiah Hoffman hit a 2-run single. Kappa scored on the RBI single by Ulick. And the count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caden Hockert. Gavin Schroeder on deck. And here's a 1-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball towards shortstop. And it goes between the wickets of the shortstop, Johnsrud, and into left field. The 5th error on the ball game for Watford City. And Jaden King comes across to score to make it 9-0 in favor of Wahpeton.
Reaches on the air. Now batting
On the error by the shortstop, Johnsrud. 5 errors now. And that'll bring up Gavin Schroeder, the left fielder. He reached on an error back in the first, so he's 0 for 1 officially. First pitch to him is foul ball over the screen. Still nobody out. Runners on first and second. Hoffman's on second. Hockert on first base. And the pitch, and it hit him. Hit him right in the arm. And Gavin Schroeder will reach on the hit batsman, and that loads up the bases, and still nobody out. Jason Hogue on to pitch. Third pitcher again for Watford City.
Schroeder hit by pitch.
Brings up Riley Timian.
Number 11, third baseman Riley.
He also had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. So no official at-bat. And for those wondering how a sacrifice fly is scored, there's no official at-bat charged, so it does not go against your batting average. However, it does count against your on-base percentage. First pitch to him is a ball. You do, of course, get credit for the run batted in. And here's a pitch. He sends it high and foul down the third base line. Into the parking lot. And it's a 1-1 count. Riley Timian steps to the plate. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch is in the dirt. Beautiful stop by the catcher, Paco Baldenegro. And it's a 2-1 count to Riley Timian. And the pitch is in the dirt. And no runners will advance as it took a favorable hop for Watford City off the backstop and came back to the catcher. Count is 3-1, however. To Timian. Jack Rittenauer is on deck. And here's a pitch, swinging a looper into left field. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. Doty tried to make the catch, and 1 run will come across the score on the RBI single by Riley Timian. Doty came on, tried to make the shoestring catch, but just couldn't quite come up with it. Great effort out in left field. Hocker to go to third, Schroeder to second, and Timian on first base with the RBI single. And, of course, Hoffman scores to make it 10-0 in favor of Wahpeton. And the first pitch to Jack Rittenauer is upstairs, ball 1. Rittenauer back in the first inning, grounded out to shortstop to end the bottom of the first. Still nobody out. Wahpeton has batted around both innings. Now here's a ground ball out to short. Johnsrud's got it. Flip to second is in time. Throw to first is not in time. And Rittenauer reaches on the fielder's choice. He does get a run batted in for that, as Hockert comes across the score to make it 11-0. Schroeder does advance to third base. And Timian is out at second base on a 6-4 putout for the first out of the inning. 11-0 in favor of Wahpeton. Scored their 6th run of the bottom of the second. Back to the top of the order in Caden Kappas. First pitch to him is a ball, throw down to third base, sails out into left field, another error for Watford City. A pickoff attempt over at third base. They scored E2. And Schroeder comes across the score to make it 12-0. Rittenauer was stealing on the play. So we'll give him a stolen base a second, and he'll reach third on the same throwing error. 1-1 count now to Caden Kappas. 12-0 in favor of Wahpeton. Swinging a foul ball. Back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden Kappas is 1 for 1 officially. He walked and scored a run in the first and singled and scored a run in this inning in the bottom of the second. He's got a 2-2 count on him now. Trying to do some more damage. Jason Hogue trying to minimize the damage. Swinging a ground ball out to short. Johnsrud has it go between his legs once again, and another run will come across the score. See how they score that one. It is going to be an error on the shortstop, Johnsrud, as Rittenauer scores.
Kappas reaches on the air.
And I think we'll give him an RBI because I think the run would have scored anyway. So an RBI for Kappas makes it 13-0. He reaches on the air. And that'll bring up Tori Ulick, who's 1 for 1 as well, with a walk and a scored run in the first and a single, RBI single in this inning, and a run scored. So Tori Ulick batting, left-handed hitter. Has Jackson Fleeflet on deck. Here's a little bounding ball over to second. Forces him out at second base. And Kappas will scamper back into the dugout as Ulick reaches on a fielder's choice for the second out of the inning. And it's a 4-6 put out as Kappas goes down for the second out. And 2 down now. And Jackson Fleeflet steps to the plate. No official at bat. He's walked twice and scored twice. And here's the pitch to him. Swinging a high fly ball, hit very hard out to left field. That's way back there, and she is gone. That ball was crushed. A deep drive into left field on the first pitch, and Fleeflet has himself a 2-run home run, and it makes it 15-0 in favor of Wahpeton as Fleeflet crushes a 2-run jack out to deep left field.
Jackson Fleeflet.
Towards the evergreens, towards the road, towards the corn. And it's 15-0 in favor of Wahpeton. Ulick scores, of course, his 3rd run of the game on the play. And Jaden King steps to the plate. I was just going to say Jackson Fleeflet hasn't seen seen many strikes in today's ball game, and as soon as he does, he might be swinging hard, and he did, and crushed it out to left field. First pitch to Jaden King is a ball. Jaden King had a single and scored a run in the first, and in this bottom of the second inning, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score. So 1 for 1 officially with 2 runs scored. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swinging a hard ground ball out towards Johnsrud at shortstop, and he picks it up and bobbles it. And that'll be another error on the shortstop, Johnsrud, as King reaches on an error. 8 errors now for Watford City. And perhaps, Chris, that the rain might have had something to do with that one. And that's the first one where I think the rain actually played a factor in the ballgame.
Quite possibly.
First pitch is upstairs and a ball. As the ball escapes onto the field from the bullpen, as Wahpeton has somebody warming up in their bullpen down the first base line. I didn't catch a number on him. Here's a swing and a...
Right in the glove of the shortstop.
I didn't. I was looking down at my book, but a line drive to the shortstop. But Wahpeton scores 10 runs in the bottom of the second inning, and they have a 15-0 lead. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
4 hits. There were 4 walleye errors.
Chiropractic.
And we're back in Kindred. For Watford City, the Walleye post 29. They come to bat down 15-0 in favor of Wahpeton. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters batting for the Walleye. Nolan Dahl, the right fielder, steps to the plate. His first plate appearance of the ball game. No runs, no hits, 8 errors for Watford City. Wahpeton with 15 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And here's the 0-1. Fastball down low. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's a pitch from Hockert. Fastball over for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Should we do trivia?
Caden Hockert is on the hill. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Hockert picks up his 5th strikeout. And there's 1 away. That'll bring up Jason Hogue. He's now the pitcher. Started the game at second base. And he became the 3rd pitcher. So 26 pitches for Hockert. He's going to exit the ball game. The all-important pitch count is in favor of Wahpeton as they have the big lead. They're going to bring out Hockert and save him. And so we'll take a break. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Gordy's Travel Plaza continues to improve products and services. Now open is the Beer Cave with wines and spirits. Pick up a fresh-made Sandy's donut along with the fresh bean-to-cup coffee or espresso. How about our tasty popcorn with warm butter on top, or cool down with the all-new Fresh Blend shakes, smoothies, frappes, frazzles, and more. Now open is Champ's Chicken, Hangar 54 Pizza, and Hot Mex Express. We are excited for you to try out the all-new items at Gordy's Travel Plaza in Castleton, serving Castleton and the surrounding communities for over 55 years.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein Enlist E3 soybeans have yield.
And we're back in Kindred. We had ourselves a pitching change as Wahpeton takes out their starting pitcher. Caden Hockert, he exits the ball game. He went 2 1/3 innings and struck out 5. And he'll give way to Skylar Blado, right-handed pitcher. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch is fouled back by Jason Hogue, who's now the pitcher for Watford City. Top of the 3rd inning, Watford City looking to scratch a couple of runs and try to get back into this ball game. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch from Blado. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is Jason Hogue's first plate appearance of the game. He's got Carson Vole on deck at the top of the order. And the pitch misses down. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Skylar Blado, number 3 on the hill for post 20. Out of Wahpeton. Blado looks on. Pitches out of the full windup. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it hit him. So Hogue will be aboard with a hit batsman. That's the 3rd base runner of the game for Watford City.
Leadoff man,
No hits so
two,
far.
third baseman,
Johnsrud drew a walk. Jordan Doty drew a walk. And now Hogue reaches on the hit batsman. Brings us to the top of the order, and Carson Vole, the third baseman. And the pitch from Blado, swinging a ground ball, foul down the third baseline, strike one. Vole is 0 for 1. He grounded out to second to start the ball game. American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. Again, thanks to our sponsors for making this possible. Here's the 0-1 off-speed pitch in there for strike two. 0-2 the count. Blado, the second pitcher for Wahpeton. Here's the 0-2 pitch, off speed, swinging a ground ball foul once again down the third base line. Runner on first, one out. And the pitch from Blado, over for strike three. And Carson Vole goes down on strikes. Blado's first strikeout brings up Tyson Kukenboo. He's playing at second base.
Second baseman, Tyson Kukenboo.
Two down, runner on first base, and the pitch misses, ball one. Judd Johnsrud is on deck. And the pitch, fastball down low, 2 balls and no strikes. Skyler Blado trying to work through this inning. Only the third batter he's faced. Hit the first one, struck out the next. Runner goes down 15-0. Here's a throw down to second base. They got him. A stolen base, and I missed that on camera, but the runner gets thrown out stealing to end the inning. In the top of the thirds for Watford City, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the third. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. Mike Bernier along with Chris Hubden on Magnitude Sports, bringing you the Class A State American Legion Baseball Tournament from Kindred. Watford City taking on Wahpeton. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Wahpeton scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first and 10 runs in the bottom of the second inning, and they'll come to bat here in the bottom of the third, and they'll send their 6, 7, 8 hitters up to the plate. Caden Hockert, Gavin Schroeder, and Riley Timian.
Stepping into the box for Wahpeton post 20 will be the designated hitter, number 9, Caden Hockert.
Hockert leads off. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning for a run batted in, and he reached on an error and scored a run back in the second, so officially 0 for 1. First pitch to him is a ball. Jason Hogue on the mound, third pitcher of the game for Watford City. And the second pitch is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's a 2-0. Over for strike one. Caden Hockert on the mound, or at the plate, I should say. And here's a 2-1. It misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. And here's a 3-1. Swinging a hard ground ball into left field. That ball was scorched, and it'll be I think we're going to give him a base hit on that one. I don't think anybody made an error on that play, so I agree with the press box once again. Dan Nathan and Josh Elmaris up in the press box up here. Official ruling on that one, a solid base hit into left field. Brings up Gavin Schroeder. First pitch to him is upstairs, ball 1. Throw it on to first base is not in time. Hockert back in plenty of time. Gavin Schroeder reached on an error in the first, and in the second inning, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Here's a pitch to him. Hard ground ball out towards Johnsrud at short. 1 down over at second base, not in time for the double play. So Schroeder reaches on a fielder's choice. Hockert is out, 6-4 put out, 1 down. So no hit on the play. Riley Timian steps to the plate. He is 1 for 1 officially. He had a sacrifice fly in the first and an RBI single in the second inning. First pitch to him. Misses for a ball. Jason Hogue on the mound. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bottom of the third inning, no runs, no hits, 8 errors for Watford City. Wahpeton, 15 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. And here's a pitch, over for strike 2. So, Chris, we're bringing you all 15 games of the State A Legion Tournament. Here's a high fly ball into shallow right field. Right fielder Dahl comes on and makes the catch. And there's quickly 2 down. As Timian pops out to right field for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Jack Rittenauer. He's the second baseman. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. First pitch to him is ball 1. He grounded out to shortstop in the first and then singled, an RBI single in the second inning, and came around to score. Here's a line drive into the gap in left field, and that'll find a gap and be cut off in left field. 1 run is going to score on the play, and there will be no throw. So a solid RBI double coming out of the 9th spot in the lineup. You got to love that as for Wahpeton when the bottom of the lineup produces as many runs as they've had today. They got a couple of RBIs out of Timian, and they got a couple of RBIs out of Jack Rittenauer, the 8 and 9 hitters. That RBI double scores Gavin Schroeder, and it makes it 16-0 in favor of Wahpeton. 9th hit for Wahpeton. And back to the top of the order.
Yeah, once again, we have this game started at 11, and then West Fargo Vets and Bismarck Senators at 1:30, Bismarck Capitals and Castleton at 4, and Kindred and Dickinson at 7 for the nightcap.
And do I see a pinch hitter up there? Is that what we got going on here? That's Josiah Brewer. So Kappas leaves the game, and Josiah Brewer, number 4, steps to the plate. He's got a 1-2 count. I was going to say it's a right-handed hitter, but that does not look like Caden Kappas because it isn't. Here's a line drive towards the gap in left field. That's going to fall in there for a hit. 1 run's going to come across the score, and Brewer's going to try to get into second base, and he does. I think we'll give him a double on that as Rittenauer scores. An RBI double for Josiah Brewer. And we're going to have a coaching visit. It sounds like we're going to have another pinch hitter for Wahpeton as well. I heard number 14, Sterling Warney, will probably be the batter. And we're going to have another pitching change. Why don't we take a break, Chris? Another break on the field. We'll take a break. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
How do you play? You sit in the stands.
Mitzel Magic Services is locally owned and operated out of Bismarck, North Dakota. They provide the services you need to keep your home looking great. Whether it's lawn mowing or snow removal, get the job done for a reasonable and affordable rate with Mitzel Magic Services. Mitzel Magic Services also offers weed control, landscaping, tree trimming, and yard cleanup services and more. Want some magic done to your yard? You know who to call. Mitzel Magic Services. Contact Jaden today at 701-333-9791 or visit them on Facebook by searching Mitzel Magic Services.
And we're back on Magnitude Sports. I'm Mike Bernier along with Chris Hovden. Watching American Legion Baseball, Wahpeton on top of Watford City by a score of 17-0. We got some defensive changes for Watford City. Nolan Dahl, the right fielder, exits a ball game, and Griffin Idukas comes in to pitch. And the pitcher, Jason Hogue, will move out to right field. Idukas, first batter he's facing, is, like we said earlier, number 14, Sterling Warning, comes in to pitch, or in to hit, I should say. So a pinch hitting opportunity for Warney. He's got a 2-0 count. Right-handed pitcher Griffin Idukas on the mound. 2 outs, runner on second base. Bottom of the third. Here's a 2-0 inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Tori Ulick exits the ball game. He was 1 for 2, I should say, with 3 runs scored. He walked and scored a run, singled, an RBI single, and scored a run, and reached under fielder's choice and scored a run. 3 balls and 1 strike to him. Actually, not to him, but to Sterling Warning, the pinch hitter for Ulick. And the 3-1 is over, strike 2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Warney didn't appreciate the call, but he looked up at the scoreboard and said, it's 17-0. I should probably swing the bat. And here's a 3-2 pitch from Idukas, and that misses, and Warney will get his walk. So that puts the runners at first and second. Jason Fleeflet was the scheduled batter, and now we're going to have a pinch hitter in Keegan Lynch. Fleeflet had walked twice and scored runs, and then he hit a 2-run bomb out to left field, so he was 1 for 1. With 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in, including that home run. So Keegan Lynch, the pinch hitter. Nice to get some bench players coming along and getting some at-bats. It's one advantage of having a big lead. You get everybody worked into the ball game so they stay fresh, because you never know when they're going to need to come in and play that game. So they get some at-bats, see some pitches. See some live pitching. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Lynch. He takes a breaking ball, looks like over for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count. Injuries can occur at any point in the ball game, and you never know when you're going to need somebody to fill in a spot, get out of the mound, go behind the plate and catch. Swing and a miss for Lynch. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And here's a pitch from Idukas. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, goes down on strikes. And that ends the inning. Wahpeton does come up with a pair of runs. And I believe there are 3 hits that inning. And there's 2 runners left on base. At the end of 3, Wahpeton leads it by a score of 17-0 over Watford City. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Touchmark provides a carefree lifestyle for our residents, and we are here with you the entire way.
I'm so happy I made the move to Touchmark.
There's always enough to keep me busy, and people are very friendly here. I enjoy that. It makes my day.
People get up and dance. I mean, it's such a joyful place to live. How can you not like it?
That sense of community is so strong. When I think of Touchmark, I just think big, but I think beautiful, and I think home.
In 1961, Mickey Mantle's 54 home runs were the most he ever hit in a season. Congratulations to our winner. You get a personal fan pizza at Express Lane.
And we're back. We're back in Kindred. You're watching American Legion Baseball, the State A tournament. Kind of a fun thing. We had the Express Lane trivia.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll try to get this question in here in between pitches. Skylar Blado's a pitcher for Wahpeton. The first pitch to Tyson Kukenboo. It's kind of a line drive, half pop-up, we'll call it, over to second base, and he's out. We'll call it a line drive for the first out. Shortstop Judd Johnsrud. Sounds like somebody got the right answer. If they get the right answer, they get a free personal pizza over at Express Lane. Kind of fun.
Yeah, it could be my lunch. Who knows?
Yeah. 0-1 count to Judd Johnsrud. Over for strike two, but all North Dakota baseball fans know the M&M boys, right?
Yes, indeed.
Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. They were in a home run race in 1961. Here's the 0-2 pitch, down low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1961, Roger Maris hit 61 in 61 to break Babe Ruth's single-season home run record. How many did Mickey Mantle hit?
We'll let you ponder that for a minute.
There's a ground ball out to shortstop. And he's thrown out. Caden Kappas back in the game, and it's a 6-3 putout as Johnsrud goes down on a ground out, brings up Neil Dahl. Well, the answer is Mickey Mantle hit 54 home runs that year in 1961, the most he ever hit in his Hall of Fame career. So kind of a fun little feature. We came up, Josh Almaris and I came up with some trivia questions, and so we're going to have fun with that all weekend. And we'll have those questions for you, too, on Magnitude Sports. Just something kind of fun to bring it back to some nostalgia years. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's over for strike two. We'll have some movie trivia, including trivia from the movie Bull Durham, some of these baseball movies. Here's a ground ball pounded out towards second base. He's got it, throws him out at first base in a 1-2-3 inning for Watford City in the top of the fourth. It's a 4-3 putout. And that's the third out of the inning. And Wahpeton will come to bat in the bottom of the fourth. We'll take a break. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Bar 9 in West Fargo is your stop for that pregame lunch and for the postgame celebration. With over 30 TVs, you can catch your team anytime. We have a delicious food menu including wings, pizza, sandwiches, and more. Enjoy it inside or head on outside, day or night, to relax in the comfort of our updated outdoor patio. We also have slots, blackjack, pull tabs, and all gaming proceeds earned go to support West Fargo baseball. So catch your team's game tonight at Bar 9, 1405 Prairie Parkway in West Fargo.
Hey, it's Mike with Magnitude Sports. Check out this channel right here, Dakota Fins and Feathers Outdoors. It's owned and operated by a family in Bismarck, North Dakota that I've known for over 2 decades. Kids have grown up into fine young men, and during their high school careers, some of them even played games that were broadcasted on Magnitude Sports. If you like hunting, fishing, general outdoor life, sunrise, sunset, everything hunting and fishing related, dogs, hunting dogs, they're the best. Then check out the channel and show them some love. Go to Fins and Feathers Outdoors. Subscribe to them today.
And we're back in Kindred. Again, Mike Bernier along with Chris Hubden on Magnitude Sports, bringing you American Legion Baseball. Having some fun up here. In the press box, we had some trivia, and a gentleman in the stands got that answer correctly with Mickey Mantle hitting the 54 home runs in 1961. Pinch hitter for Wahpeton. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Wahpeton post 20. We can hear Chris Kappa saying we're going to have some pinch hitters this inning, and they do. So Eli Kappas, number 10, will step to the plate. Facing the right-handed pitcher, Griffin Idukas. Idukas is a 4th pitcher for Watford City in the ball game. For Watford City, they have no runs, no hits, and the 8 errors. And Wahpeton with 17 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. Here's a 1-1 pitch from the right-hander, Iadukis, to Eli Kappas, swinging him as strike 2. Fun fact for you, Chris. Chris Kappas, the third base coach and head coach for Wahpeton, and I played with him in Breckenridge. We were Breckenridge Cowboys. Swing and a miss, and they're going to have to make a play over at first base, and it is not in time. And Eli Kappas will reach on the...
Nope, they'll get him. Or no, they didn't. Excuse me, sorry.
The umpire called him safe. Yep. And so Eli Kappas reaches on the strikeout. And I believe it'll be a pass ball on that play.
For Wahpeton, pinch hitter number 23, Braxton Pauley.
Braxton Pauley, number 23, steps to the plate. He'll pinch hit for Josiah Hoffman. First pitch to him is a ball. As I straighten out the camera, I'm looking down at my scorebook. I'm trying to multitask. I'm not doing a very good job of it. Braxton Pauley steps to the plate, right-handed hitter. Runner on first base with nobody out. Iadukis kicks and fires, swinging a high fly ball down the left field line. It's foul, and a nice effort by the left fielder, Doty. It falls foul. Excuse me, and the ball will roll it along at 1 ball and 1 strike with Eli Kappas on at first. But going back to that, Chris Kappas was a Breckenridge Cowboy. He was a grade below me back in the day, back in the early 90s. Not to date ourselves, but I just did, I think. Early 90s was a long time ago.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I was not alive.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's some 30 years ago when I graduated. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing, balls in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braxton Pauley, the pinch hitter for Josiah Hoffman. Eli Kappas on first base, nobody out, 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. Pitch, swing and a high pop fly into the infield. It's a mile up in the air. Right on the mound. I mean, right where the pitcher's standing, you very rarely see that. The pitcher called everybody else off and made the catch, and there's 1 down.
Lucas with the catch.
Caden Hockert is due up.
Now batting will be number 9, designated hitter.
And it will be Caden Hockert. I was thinking they might have a pinch hitter, but
I thought the same thing, but
I think most everybody's worked into the ball game so far. Swinging a ground ball out towards second base. They'll flip to second for 1. Throw over to first base is not going to be in time. No error on the play as the runner does not advance. You can't assume a double play in the scorebooks. So Hockert will reach on a fielder's choice. Eli Kappas is down on the putout. And that's the second out of the inning. So a runner on first base with 2 outs brings up.
Now batting will be number 24.
Yep, I think this is a last bench player, and it's Cooper Klosterman. Steps up and he hits a ground ball foul towards the dugout. So Cooper Klosterman comes on to pinch hit for Gavin Schroeder. Klosterman is spelled Klosterman, pronounced Klosterman. And the pitch is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
if you're still here from earlier, I think I got the camera issue figured out. I wasn't going to say anything for a good while to not jinx it, so I think we got it.
Nice to see that you're very superstitious like most baseball players.
Oh, absolutely.
As well. And here's a pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like I said, we're having some fun here in Kindred. Everybody's trying to make the field look good. Didn't expect the rain, but it did come today. But we're playing the game, and so we never had a delay. It hadn't rained around here for a while, so the field's taking the rainwater pretty good. It seems to have let up.
Last rain we got was our last tournament.
Yeah, the last tournament, the tournament that we held here at Kindred. We got some rains then. Here's a high fly ball into left field. Doty's got it measured. He makes a catch. And that ends the inning. So Wahpeton does not score any runs in the bottom of the fourth inning. First time they've been shut out in an inning. So we'll head to the top of the fourth inning. Wahpeton leads it, or top of the fifth inning, I'm sorry. So Wahpeton leads it by a score of 17-0. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
I kind of wonder where to even begin about what I love about Touchmark. It's everything. It's the time with the residents. It's my team. I work with wonderful individuals every single day. I love the people, and my job is to connect with them, and that's a pretty great job to have, that you get to make genuine, real connections with our residents and our team members. It's just the overall community. That is Touchmark. That's what I love.
Your full life happens here at Touchmark.
And we're back in Kindred. Watford City stepping up to the plate. It's a 17-0 lead for Wahpeton. Here's a ground ball chopped out towards short. Caden Kappas has it. He throws on to first base, and there's one down. That was number 4, Landon Liedall, now the first baseman. He grounds out. And the 10-run run rule is in effect.
Number 17, left fielder Jordan Doty.
So in other words, Chris, Watford City will have to come up with 8 runs or this ball game is over. And here's a pitch over, or misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to the hitter, Jordan Doty. He's a left fielder. Started the game on the mound. Here's a high fly ball into center field. And I believe that's still Ulick out in center field, and it was. And he does make the catch out in center field for the second out. So the Walleye out of Watford City, post 29, is down to their last out in this first ball game. This is a double elimination tournament. So Watford City will see another ball game, regardless of the outcome of this one. First pitch to the hitter, Colton Huffnagel, the center fielder, is over for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 with the strikeout. Swinging a ground ball up to third base. Timian has it. Throw across the diamond in time for the out. And that does it, folks. Wahpeton wins it by a score of 17-0 on the 5-3 putout to Timian. And that ends the ball game. Wahpeton wins it by a score of 17-0. And we'll take a break to wrap this one up. And we'll be back. You're watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
We take great pride in really doing all the research and the work behind the scenes to make sure that our products just work.
We have our own staff member that helps pick the hybrids and the varieties that work in our area. It's meant for you, not for somebody 200 miles away.
We test our seed locally. We produce our seed locally, so we get to see our production fields, where they need to be, and if they work there.
Need seed? Think ProSeed. ProSeed.net. Great seed at a reasonable price.
Boston Pizza harnessed Fanalytics to help optimize no-look dipping. Ooh, making adjustments so you can stay focused on the game. The playoffs at Boston Pizza, powered by Fanalytics.
At Boston's, we make crowd pleasers. Like this.
Woo!
And these.
So good!
And definitely this.
I love you!
Stop by or book your catering order online and we'll make you a fan.
West Fargo Baseball wishes the Patriots, Aces, and Vets the best of luck in this year's tournaments.
There's never a bored moment at Touchmark.
Here, it's always something going on. If I want to do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't.
The whole community has so much going on, activities for each day basically, and everything's right there.
There's always enough to keep me busy.
We have stuff day to day, such as gardening club, but we also have our big signature events like our Touchmark Woodstock event. There's never really a time to be bored if you don't want to be.
Practice.
There's no question that yield is at the core of everything we do at Stein. It's why we are here today, and it's what will continue to propel us and our growers into the future of agriculture. Stein and List E3 soybeans provide a significant dollar per acre yield benefit, plus access to the best weed control in the industry. That is yield plus results. Yield expected, yield delivered. Stein and List E3 soybeans have yield.
Gordy's Travel Plaza continues to improve products and services. Now open is the Beer Cave with wines and spirits. Pick up a fresh-made Sandy's donut along with a fresh bean-to-cup coffee or espresso. How about our tasty popcorn with warm butter on top, or cool down with the all-new Fresh Blend shakes, smoothies, frappes, frazzles, and more. Now open is Champ's Chicken, Hangar 54 Pizza, and Hot Mex Express. We are excited for you to try out the all-new items at Gordy's Travel Plaza in Castleton, serving Castleton and the surrounding communities for over 55 years.
And we're back in Kindred to wrap things up in the first game. We'll have the second game coming up for you as well, as the West Fargo Vets will take on the Bismarck Senators. We're looking forward to that ball game, but we'll wrap up this first ball game here. Wahpeton Post 20 wins it by a score of 17-0 over the Watford City Walleye, Post 29. Again, Mike Bernier along with Chris Hovde, we're bringing you all the games on Magnitude Sports throughout this State Legion, or Class A State Legion baseball tournament. And again, Wahpeton wins it by a score of 17-0. We did announce a player of the game, kind of a fun thing we're doing up in the press box here. And Jackson Fleeflet for Wahpeton, the catcher, starting catcher, was named the player of the game. So his name was called out over the PA. As a player of the game, he was 1 for 1 officially. He's walked twice and scored on both of those plate appearances. And then he hit a monstrous 2-run home run to left field in the second inning. So 1 for 1 with 3 runs scored, including that 2-run blast out to left field. So we'll take a look at the bracket. That was the first game of the tournament. And Chris pulls up the bracket here. As you can see, Wahpeton will move up, and they'll play a game tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the winner of this next ball game here. And then Watford City goes into the losers bracket, and they'll play the loser of this game as well. So that'll be done tomorrow. So we got the West Fargo Vets coming up, taking on the Bismarck Senators, and we'll wrap things up for Chris Hovde. You've been watching American Legion Baseball on Magnitude Sports.
Broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.